Today we got two of the best heavy hitters in any comic book movie going head to head. Namek from Man of Steel versus Kurse from Thor the Dark World. Who comes out on top? Let's find out. Namek is a Kryptonian war criminal, member of the Sword of Rayo, as well as being the strongest soldier General Zod, one of the first great enemies of the hero Superman. Together with General Zod, Namek attempted to re-establish Krypton on Earth by bringing about a terraformation apocalypse, but is ultimately defeated by Superman and re-imprisoned in the Phantom Zone. Namek has insane levels of strength, as even before being exposed to a yellow sun, he was stronger than the average Kryptonian, having his DNA mixed with the DNA of the Rondors, the freaking Kryptonian cows. He's able to jump up to a plane, rip out the pilot with absolutely no effort, toss a van in order to take down an army helicopter, then battle against and overpower Superman. Probably most impressively, Namek was set hurtling with a blow from Superman, knocked over several train cars upon impact, yet Namek still had the strength to casually throw one of those 150 to 200-ton trains across town. Namek is also strong enough to casually hurt Superman with his attacks. He's helped to knock Clark out, and is able to create a sonic boom with a charge, confirming his ability to move faster than the speed of sound. Namek is also fast enough to catch a blitzing Superman, even though he is noticeably slower and bulkier than the other Kryptonians. However, it is countered by being much more durable than the Kryptonians. He's taken an explosion directly to the face, is able to take Superman's heat vision with just minor burns, and Cal's heat vision can reach up to 10,000 degrees. He's even taken some serious blows and haymakers from Superman. Then, being a member of the Kryptonian Warriors Guild, Namek is a fierce and ruthless combatant, with his fighting style being based purely on his brute force and his huge hulking physique. So, let's begin in one corner, the mighty Kryptonian Namek. But, into the ring, the other corner, the mighty Dark Elf, Kurse. Algrim the Strong was a lieutenant of the Dark Elves' leader Malekith the Accursed, loyally serving his master during the war against the Asgardians. He was one of the few Dark Elves who survived the war that almost wiped out their race, and ultimately cost them the Ether. 5,000 years later, Algrim did not hesitate to sacrifice his own life to be transformed into the last of the Cursed, in order to gain their revenge on Asgard. Being a Dark Elf, Algrim does possess various superhuman attributes, but after becoming Curse, he became one of the strongest, most powerful beings within the 9 realms. He was able to easily smash through Asgardian metal, punch right through the 9 penetrable Asgardian force field, send Thor flying with a single blow, and effortlessly overpower him, and Curse even managed to deflect Mjolnir in full flight with one casual hit. On top of that, after becoming Curse, Algrim became exponentially more durable, as he's barely reacted to Thor's punches, taking attacks from Mjolnir with no apparent injury, and he literally had to be killed by a black hole in order to be put down for good. However, despite his superhuman durability, Curse can be injured, but he does have a regenerative healing factor, being able to heal at a rapid rate, much faster than a normal human. As a Cursed, Algrim became a formidable hand-to-hand combatant, relying primarily on brawling techniques, allowing him to make full use of his tremendous strength, enabling him to overpower Thor himself without much effort, despite Thor's great strength and possession of the most powerful weapons in existence. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, I had never really thought of this fight before, because I kind of forgot Thor the Dark World existed. But when I did, man, it just made total sense. 2 hulking brutes, 2 lieutenants serving a scorned general, want to revenge on the hero, and to reclaim the former glory of their race. Just made sense. But who's ultimately coming out on top here? The Kryptonian or the Dark Elf? Well, that's what we're going to find out. Now, first things first, physicality. And since these two are mainly brutes, rely on their strength in a fight, and don't even really show any particular fighting skill besides being brawlers with overwhelming power, strength is obviously a huge part of this fight. Well, I think the most important thing that we can understand at the beginning of this fight is that Namek doesn't scale to any version of Superman besides the Smallville fight Superman. He's not one of those Kryptonians who's able to level cities or effortlessly defeat the Justice League. And we know that for two reasons. First off, Superman has consistently gotten more powerful throughout his entire run in the DCEU, starting from the beginning of Man of Steel all the way to the end of Justice League. This is clearly obvious, even if you just look at Man of Steel. Simply compare his Smallville fight to the Metropolis fight. Compare him learning to fly at the beginning of the film and will overpower the World Engine while weakened at the end of the film. Secondly, Namek is not a fully adapted Kryptonian. He doesn't possess flight, heat vision, or freeze breath. Not as strong, fast, or durable as Superman or fully adapted Zod. So, saying otherwise is just dishonest and not true. However, with all that being said, Namek is still insanely powerful. He's strong enough to effortlessly toss around cars or vans, even throw them hard enough to take down an attack helicopter. And definitely most impressively, Namek has picked up a 150 to 200 ton locomotive and tossed it across town with surprising amount of precision and control, seeing as he managed to hit Superman with that train. Then Namek also just has been able to battle against Superman, overpower Superman and hold him back by his cape, threw him around hard enough to crack the concrete, and even helped double team him with Fiora and momentarily knock him out. However, like we said, this was a weaker version of Superman, so isn't as impressive as knocking out, say, Justice League Superman. In fact, Clark had already been knocked out previously in the movie by the oil rig explosion. On the other hand, Kurse can destroy Asgardian force fields literally just by punching them. His punches are strong enough to shake the ground like a mini earthquake, and manage to break off, lift up, and throw a massive boulder at Thor, a whole lot like how Namek threw the train at Superman. Kurse also has effortlessly overpowered Thor, sent Thor flying with his punches, and most impressively, in my opinion, he managed to deflect Mjolnir with a simple swat of his hand. So honestly, you can make a solid argument that either one is stronger than the other. But I think I got a side of Namek here. Throwing the train is more impressive than throwing the boulder, seeing as how he threw it a further distance, and the train is probably even heavier, even though we don't have a clear weight on the boulder. On top of that, while Kurse managed to beat up and beat down Thor, Namek actually helped to momentarily knock out Superman, which again I think is more impressive. So know about durability. Well, when Namek attacked and brought down the plane, he took the explosion of that plane directly to the face at point-blank range, also took Superman's heat vision with just minor burns and really little issue. And like we said, Clark's heat vision was mentioned as being 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit in Batman v Superman. However, most impressively, Namek took 4 or 5 punches from Superman going all out, with the last punch being powerful enough to send him flying away, knocking over 3 train cars upon impact. And like we mentioned, after taking this attack, Namek was able to pick up one of those locomotives and throw it at Kal. Durability really is Namek's greatest asset. But thing is, same with Kurse. Durability is his greatest asset. Just like Namek saw the plane exploding directly to his face, Kurse saw the Asgardian force field generator at point-blank range too. He wasn't really fazed at all by Asgardian swords. Even after Loki pierced him directly through the chest, Namek still managed to pick himself up and pierce Loki on the same blade and kill him, or at least kill his illusion. Kurse also been barely fazed by Thor's strongest blows, was able to casually take Mjolnir hitting him on the arm, and yet survive having a Mjolnir hit him in the back. And it's safe to say that Thor threw that hammer with absolutely all his strength and power, considering he just witnessed Kurse murder his mother Frigga. Now, just like we can't scale Namek off of Justice League Superman, we also can't scale Kurse off of Infinity War Thor. So we're going to use the version of Thor that Kurse actually went against and operate within that level of power. However, that means that we can use Thor's fight against another super strong brute, Hulk from Avengers. And in that fight, Thor was able to visibly do significantly more damage to Hulk than he did to Kurse. He managed to hit Hulk with Mjolnir, sending him flying backwards so much power, he destroyed a plane upon impact. Kurse took all sorts of similar attacks from Thor. It held up a whole lot better than Hulk and Avengers. Plus, it's extremely safe to assume that Thor was going to go a lot harder against Kurse, seeing as how Hulk was his ally and Kurse was his mother's killer. So yeah, I'd say that Kurse is ultimately more durable here, even though they are both extremely tough and resilient. Then, finally, we gotta talk about speed. Which one of these two is faster? Now, the obvious answer seems to be Namek, considering that he's a Kryptonian. But Namek is also the slowest Kryptonian we've ever seen, and despite Kurse's slow appearance, he's not necessarily slow. We actually have to dig into this a bit more in order to get the answer. So first off, how fast is Namek? Well, thing is, really doesn't have too many speed feats in his one fight. He's able to catch Superman while Clark was flying at Feora, was able to catch Superman again when he was trying to fly away. He managed to create a minor sonic boom when he was charging at a dazed Superman. However, there are plenty of instances that showcase Namek's role in the Kryptonian group, that of a brawler. Superman managed to land a whole lot more attacks on him than he did on Superman, and even normal humans were able to see him and react to him. The pilots saw Namek coming at them from the air, considering that they told their fellow pilot to eject well before he actually landed on the plane. A soldier on the ground was able to partially pull out his gun before Namek came in with a blind side punch to Clark. Basically, Namek has mostly just shown his speed in jumps or in dashes. Neither of those two things are really on the same level as the other Kryptonians. So yeah, he mostly just relies on his strength and durability. Namek isn't the kind of Kryptonian with blindingly fast speed. That would just leave Kurse standing there like a statue. On top of that, Kurse isn't necessarily slow, and there are two instances that I want to use to back this up. First off, he's able to react to Thor flying at him from behind and just casually swat him away like a fly. Before you say it, no, Thor isn't really that slow in the MCU. He was able to bull rush Malekith, fly through a large ice monster at some surprising speed, and even save Loki from the black hole grenade, again at surprising speed. Now, I'm not saying that Thor is as fast as Superman. He obviously isn't. But I'm going to argue that Thor flying with Mjolnir is around the same speed as Superman flying around in his fight in Smallville. And Kurse managed to react to Thor coming from behind him, which is more impressive than Namek grabbing Superman while Superman couldn't see him coming. Even more impressively, Kurse was able to react to Mjolnir. And again, Mjolnir was coming from behind him. And Mjolnir definitely isn't slow. In that same movie, it was going fast enough to shatter nearby windows as it flew by. It even flew from the ground up into orbit just 3 or 4 seconds. Kurse blocked it at the very last second while it's coming from behind him. So yeah, there isn't a massive speed gap here. A massive speed gap would be like Flash versus Spider-Man. This ain't that. However, with all that being said, I still think that Namek holds the slight edge. Still can't look past the fact that he created a little sonic boom with his bull rushes, which is visibly faster than Thor's charge or how fast Thor threw Mjolnir in that one instance. So here's what we got. Namek is stronger and faster, while Kurse is more durable. With all that, who's coming out on top? Well, it's real tough. Real hard to decide. But I think I gotta give Namek the slight edge here. Yeah, Kurse is more durable, will take plenty of attacks. But Namek is still stronger, and that's gonna come in handy here. On top of that, he does fight at a slightly faster speed. Like getting outpaced by Superman isn't really that bad. I mean, it is Superman. But Namek does fight in hand-to-hand at a faster speed than Kurse and arguably even Thor. So Kurse might be able to react to some of his blitzes or bull rushes, but Namek is still overall faster. And I'm going to favor that strength and speed advantage over Kurse's durability. It'll be a real fun fight. And if Kurse manages to break apart Namek's mask, he'd win. But I just gotta give it to the Kryptonian here. Namek is coming out on top. Namek wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications from the DanCo army, and I will see you all next time.